we're in this new world when it comes to abortion since the overturning of Roe v. Wade. And so, I think a lot of people on the right feel like this issue's over. We won. That's what they feel. But the data is not showing that. Actually shows that abortions are up overall. I think there's a lot of questions about abortion pills and ways that are maybe even illegally these people are getting around new abortion laws. There's a lot going on in the state. So I'm really glad that we have you here. Can you just start by telling us the story of kind of what happened since Roe v. Wade up to now to kind of give the landscape for this issue that we're living in now?
Certainly. Well, I mean, that's a pretty long story, but I'll try to keep it concise. For the last 50 years, the left has been running this campaign of, an unborn child is a blob of cells that grows in your womb until actually after it's born, some of them believe. They have been saying, hey, women, you're not capable of doing virtually anything if you're a mom. And they've been saying, these children are not gifts from God. There's no plan. Mm-hmm. And if you want to take control of your life, your only option is to kill your unborn child. And they've done, unfortunately, a really good job of selling that lie. We've heard countless stories of professional singers, of actresses, of athletes who have all said either that they were pressured into having an abortion and they regret it, or who have said, I could not have done this without having had an abortion. Both of those are tragic and sad. But we had 50 years under this regime where the left had the total ability to say this is entirely legal. It's legal everywhere in America. You can kill an unborn baby up until the moment of birth. And in some states, there were no penalties for not administering assistance to a baby even after it was born alive after an abortion. And then Roe v. Wade was overturned with the beautiful Dobbs decision that said now legislators have the ability to protect unborn children. Well, and around the country, pro-life states did that. We saw in Texas, their abortion numbers dropped significantly. Places like Louisiana, their abortion numbers have gone way down. But we also saw the campaign from these rabid pro-killing unborn children states like California and New York, where they said, hey, we will pay for women to be able to travel here to kill their unborn baby. We'll do whatever's possible. We will use taxpayer dollars to fund the killing of unborn children here. And so over the course of the last 2 years, of the last several years since the Dobbs decision, we've actually seen, very sadly, an increase in the number of abortions that have been taking place. As you alluded to in the opening, that is largely because of the use of the abortion drug mifepristone, which is an incredibly dangerous drug that the Biden administration made available through the mail at a pharmacy, not over the counter yet, thankfully, but at a pharmacy. And they have done virtually everything possible to remove any protections for women taking that drug. It shouldn't surprise anyone that there's no protections for unborn children there, but even for women. So now we're living in this sort of wild west of abortion where, women are taking mifepristone either willingly or unwillingly, either knowingly or unknowingly. And we're seeing the fallout from this, the tragedy of women viewing their dead unborn baby in the toilet and wondering, is this bleeding and pain that I'm experiencing normal? And this is happening all across the United States, and I'm sure we'll get into that more later. But Planned Parenthood, of course, is one of the major pushers of this.